Seahawks, and they're supposed to be the rival. Personally, the Cardinals are the ones for me that I'm like, dude, I hope they never score another touchdown.
Do you think we will be in the playoffs?
Next year?
Are you listening?
Were you watching the football game this weekend? Of course you were. And why? We're both waiting for the same thing. The exit of the Seattle Seahawks. Now, another miracle. Saved by another miracle, just as they were last year when we played them. You believe that? Wait a minute, Seahawks fans. Before you start walking around with your chest all stuck out and talking about the greatest NFL playoffs comeback in history. No. What this was is the greatest collapse in NFL history by the Green Bay Packers. You know you didn't win that game. What I hope is you bring that same game when you play in the Super Bowl. And then the 49er dream will have come true. There was one shining moment though. Richard Sherman laying on the sidelines, writhing in pain. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed that. Have you seen that commercial where Rich and his mom are doing that commercial when mom's flying overhead? She's in a helicopter. She drops a little ladder out for little Rich to climb up. He climbs up and they fly away. All I can imagine was that same commercial spot and Rich flying with a little arm hanging. Niner fans, it's been over a week now since Jim Tomsula was appointed top dog. And you know, I want to know, how do you feel about that? Real nice to meet you, man.
Nice to finally meet you, brother.
Yeah, you know. Hey, you're San Francisco, or where are you?
I'm actually in Arizona.
Oh, you're in Arizona?
Yeah, I grew up in LA though.
That means you got to put up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not now.
Oh, yeah.
But you had to put up with Cardinals.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Oh, yeah. And see, that's the thing about it, man. Seattle Seahawks, and they're supposed to be the rivals. Not personally, the Cardinals are the ones for me that I'm like, dude, I hope they never score another touchdown.
And the bad thing about it is they had us on the ropes all season long. So you had to hear it all season long.
And I kept telling people, week 17. I just kept saying, week 17. I can't wait to get y'all back. Yeah.
And after all those weeks, you finally get revenge.
Finally got my revenge.
Because I got to tell you, man, had they not been injured, I don't know if we would have won that game.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm kind of sure we wouldn't have won that game.
With that third string quarterback, man, I think that's what helped us out.
But you know what? No matter when I'm talking to the Cardinal fans, the Cowboys, or especially the Hawks, man, I do not back down. No, I always say, listen.
No.
The only reason you won is because of this. I got like 29,000 excuses you won because of this reason and this reason. If not been for that, we would have cleaned your house out, you know? So, yeah. Rio, we got all kinds of problems. First of all, we lost the coach.
Yep.
We don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
They give us a coach that nobody expected. Everybody says, okay, Fangio's going to be the coach. Shanahan going to be the coach. Oh, we got Mike Holmgren in the mix.
That's why I was waiting on him.
But Rio, they gave us Jimmy Tomsula. What are your feelings on that?
Jimmy T, man, I mean, he's been with the organization for since 07. So I guess the way they looked at it is he's been with us this long. You know, give us a shot. But I had my money on other coaches. That was actually the coach that I didn't expect. Jimmy T. I didn't expect it. Jim Tomsula, you know, he did coach a game when we let go of Mike Singletary. And he did win the game, so that's the one reference that I do have, and I'm like, you know, we got to go with the hand that we're dealt now. So
and
hopefully,
with everybody on the team. But you know, did you see the press conference the other day?
I didn't watch it. I missed the press conference, but I seen I see some of the reports on it, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm just, I thought it was going to be a different coach altogether, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, he just didn't look very sure of himself. He doesn't necessarily have to do, like a lot of coaches are very good at press conferences. They articulate everything well. Because when they ask him what his plan was, if he had any direction, it just didn't come off like he did. I was kind of scared. I was sitting there saying, oh, Jimmy, man.
Like, I'm not looking forward to a 2-14 season, Jimmy, man. We need 10, 12 wins this season.
Which Rio gives you this question. Do you think we are going to make the playoffs this year?
I think we have a fairly good chance to make the playoffs, but we're looking at the NFC West. In my opinion, we're the strongest division in the league now. We're looking at Seattle. We're looking at St. Louis, who's going to shock a lot of people next season. Arizona, who, as much as the trash I got to hear and all of that stuff, Arizona is a decent team. They're decent. They're a lot better than other teams in other divisions. They're a decent team. I wouldn't give them the elite status just yet. For my money, they had a soft schedule. Their defense pretty much carried them all the way to the playoffs, and then Carolina tear their butts up.
This is good about this. We can talk bad about other fans and other teams, and Rio, there's nothing they can do about it. We're telling the truth. Real prediction is we will be going to the playoffs. You know what? We're going to come back later on in the season. When the season does get back underway a little later, I may call you back up, Rio.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
We made it, Rio. And remember, you called it way back in January.
Yeah, we were talking about this way back in January.
We got Warren all from New Jersey. Warren, welcome to Ronbo Sports.
What's up, Ronbo? How you doing, bro?
All right. Warren, I was just laughing about Warren's in New Jersey. The Giants and the Jets. How do you feel about them?
Why do you think I'm a 49er fan? I have endured years of watching them, back before. I'm not to tell my age, but, back before they had football on different channels. They used to just show the Jets and the Giants. I couldn't stand watching them. So when Ronnie Lott, I was, trying to pick a team, and Ronnie Lott was playing, and I really enjoyed watching him play, and that's what made me like the 49ers. Yeah. And, but being stuck watching Giants and Jets play, oh, God, it's terrible. It's terrible. Oh.
Well, Warren, it hasn't been any better for us in San Francisco either, because now we have a losing season, which was bad enough, and then we become orphans as we lose a head coach, and we get this evil stepmama and evil stepdaddy, Balky and York. And God knows what they're doing, because nobody knows what they're doing. And now we got a coach we know is a great defensive coach, but we don't know if he can lead an entire team. He did something like that a few years ago, but that's in a substitution role, so it's not like what he's going to have to do now. What is your feeling toward Jim Tomsula?
I've read so much prior going into if they were going to let Harbaugh go and everything, and the stuff I read about Tomsula was basically, the way I sum it up is like he's the yes man. He's the guy that, that the front office likes to, that he's going to agree with the front office and they all have the same mindset supposedly, or maybe just that whatever the front office says, he's going to be like, okay, that sounds like a good idea, boss, that type of guy, the yes man. You want a guy that's going to have their own opinion about things, and, not saying that he doesn't, not saying that he's not going to make a good coach, but, I think that they wanted things to go, whatever they said, to go over a little easier as far as what the coach and them are going to be on the same wavelength about, the same page about. So I actually was a little excited about possibly getting a Gase from the Broncos, but with Tomsula, I mean, everybody's running except for Rathman. All the coaches are like, we're done.
They're gone.
All of them. The defensive backs coach. I mean, everybody. So Rathman, the running backs coach, is the only one that's going to stick around as far as what I understand.
Yep, Fangio's gone, and it's a very crazy thing because I don't understand how Rathman survived, actually, which is a very strange thing. But with all that being said, you say Gase would have been your choice. Why would you have picked Gase?
No, I said I was kind of more excited about Gase. Mm-hmm. I just wanted an offensive coach that was going to be able to work with Kaepernick. That was my biggest thing. Even if they would have, my dream, of course, which was crazy, was like if Sean Payton were to come over, because his contract was up. They were talking about maybe letting him go, but that didn't happen. But we just need somebody that's going to work with Kaepernick. Maybe Tomsula's good. I think the positives about Tomsula is that because he hasn't been a coordinator, he went straight from defensive line to coach. That's a really big jump. Because he hasn't been a coordinator, he won't step on anybody's toes and say, well, you need to do this or you need to do that. He'll just coach.
Good point.
The defense, coordinator, do the defensive plays, offensive coordinator, do the offensive plays, which is good. But at the same time, he's worked and had his back to the field this entire time. He's never faced the field. He's always had his back to the field. He's talking to his defensive line and telling this and telling that. So he hasn't really stood and watched an entire game with it, facing the field. So it's going to be, he's kind of learning on the job, That's the way I look at it. So, he's been in the league 7 years, doing it 7 years, but 7 years in the same positions.
Do you think we will be in the playoffs?
Next year?
That says it right there. I have the same feeling. I want to be surprised, but I have my doubts about making the playoffs, and that means 2 years of embarrassment and watching the Hawks proceed to do a three-peat.
Bro, don't say that.
I know. But anyway, no playoffs next season. Tomsula is a big question mark. Pretty much we all agree.
Yeah. I'm hoping for playoffs, though. I have a little, I'm going to be a little more faithful and hope for the playoffs. We have the talent. We just gotta if we get a good offense coordinator, then I'll be a little more positive. We'll see. But right now, it doesn't look good.
Oh, Niner fans, we have to make the playoffs, though. We have to. The Super Bowl is being played in our house next year. What a loss of face that would be if we weren't even involved. It has to happen. I've been thinking, though, my feeling on Jimmy T. When I watch Jim Tomsula, I see fire. I see a guy who sleeps and eats nothing but football. I'm thinking now we may have ourselves a real fearless leader. A guy that could lead us to the promised land and with ease. And I'll tell you why. That same fire and enthusiasm that Tomsula exudes, I think it rubs off on the players. He'll get the help he needs from the front office. I'm almost sure of that. When you get a chance, watch footage of Tomsula on the sideline. It is something special to watch. And then, watch footage of the legendary Vince Lombardi. Far-fetched, there's some similarities, some chilling similarities. I'm telling you right now, I think we've got the right coach. I am now currently endorsing Jimmy Tomsula. I'm looking forward to this next season. And I'm also dedicating this entire offseason to finding my entire Niner family. So when I come knocking on your door, be ready. We're going to talk. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The name doesn't change. Ronbo Sports. Count me up out of here.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Niners!
Oh, this you crazy mother.